Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's Mother Teresa here. It's time to grandstand. Make sure you grab your favorite treat, your favorite beverage. Tell someone else that it's time to grandstand on tonight. Welcome, everybody, on this Tuesday night. I hope you've had a great week thus far. I hope you've had a great week since the last time that I saw you all and that I was with you all on last Tuesday. And so on this Tuesday, it's time to grandstand. If you're new here, if this is your first time, then I want to welcome you. If you're returning, I want to say thank you for coming back again and for grandstanding, for listening, and for tuning in. I am here every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, and I'm just here for about 30 minutes to share some of the grand things that's happening in my life and in the lives of those that are connected to me. Sometimes I talk about the things that's happening in our world, and other times I just want to drop some nuggets of wisdom and some strategies for living. And hopefully you all can just pick up some nuggets and be able to use them in your daily life. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to waste the time because guess what? I know your time is valuable. And a lot of times it seems like we run out of time because I am one that I can just go down a rabbit trail and then I don't get back to what I'm talking about. But if you heard my Monday motivation on yesterday, you heard me talk about just getting things done. And in the getting things done, moving in silence. I came up and I shared with you all, not I came up with, but I shared with you all a term that my father in law used to say, and my granddaughter reminded me of it when she was here with us on last weekend. And she used the term jabberjawing. And so that means doing a whole lot of talking and not getting things done. And I challenge you all to stop doing so much jabberjawing and just to get it done, even if you need to move in silence. And so, and that kind of goes along with what I am going to share with you all tonight about finding peace when you cannot control the outcome. And how many of you all know that as we are living in uncertain times, whether it be health concerns, inflation, family drama, and let me say that again, family drama, it can feel like everything is out of our control. It can seem like everything is out of our hands and we don't have any control to be able to do anything. But I just want to say that in this conversation on tonight, this segment on tonight, we're going to talk about how to stop spiraling and to start trusting even when it seems like life has turned upside down. And how many of you all can just be honest with me and just share that it has been times in your lives when it seems like things have just turned completely upside down? And when those things or when those times come, and so many times we might want to put it out there on social media. We want to talk about it. We want everybody to know that we are, kind of going through that life is spiraling. But I'm going to challenge you all to move in silence as you are trying to get your stuff back together. I'm going to ask that you all move in silence because so many times we talk about a thing. We talk about things that we should be, or we talk when we should be praying. Let's just put it like that. When we're talking about it and we are, doing so much jabberjawing that we are not taking the time to pray about it. We're not taking the time to consult God about the things that is spiraling out of control. And so, and when we learn to start trusting the person who has our lives in his hands, then we'll begin to see some things turn around. And I'm gonna just tell you, I used to tell people when I was teaching my parenting classes, I would share with them and I would tell them that when you were in the hospital and you were, as new parents, of course, we're always so excited when we're at the hospital and we are bringing home these brand new babies. And we are just so excited. The family is there. You're taking pictures. You're doing all of these things because you're excited about that new bundle of joy. But for those parents, and especially those first time parents that are getting their babies and taking them home for the very first time, if you're new parents, guess what? They may send you with some diapers. They may even give you a couple of cases of milk or formula. They may give you some wipes. They may give you lots of little things. But guess what? They will not give you a manual and tell you that when this child is doing this, go to chapter 2, page 4, and do this. No, it's that child doesn't come with a manual. And so just like life doesn't come with a script. It doesn't give us our things to, of this is the order of our life and this is how things are going to happen. Or you can expect this to happen when you turn 36 and this is going to happen on this day and all of those things. No, life is not like that. It doesn't come with a script. And guess what? I am so very glad that it doesn't, because so many times I would think that if life came with a script, we would not do the things that we need to do, which is to trust God for everything. Okay. And so I'm glad that life doesn't come with a script. But one of the other things that I will share with you all, that although life doesn't come with a script, we do have a roadmap. And if my Bible is right there, I'm looking right at it. But my Bible, or our Bible, is our roadmap. And it can give you so many answers to so many different things that will happen in your life. It can give you how to be prepared for the things that will happen. It will give you the ways of escape when you are caught into a predicament and you don't know what to do. The Bible is that roadmap. And as I talk about, I like to talk about detours and I like to talk about journeys. But a lot of times when we are planning for a road trip, and honey, it is definitely time for a road trip. But when we're planning for road trips, we make sure that we have packed our bags, we have gotten all of our things together, we have packed the essential things that we need to be able to go on this journey. And one of the other things that we always do is that we try to make sure that wherever we're going, we have planned out our itinerary. So we know what we're going to do in the cities or the towns or wherever we're going. We always know some of the things that we're wanting to explore. The other thing that we do is make sure that we have our directions. So we're going to use our phones or our um, OnStar. We're going to make sure that we have set those things to our destination. And so we know where we're going. But guess what? Sometimes it seems like it never fails that we have a detour. And when we have those detours, we don't just turn around and come back home and say, oh, well, because we have a detour, there's no sense in us trying to make it to our destination. No, we keep going. And you know why we keep going? We keep going because our destination or our goal is to make it to where we are trying to get to get to that destination. And we also have in our possession OnStar, our cell phones, all of those different things that will give us additional directions to get around those detours. Even if we have to wait for an hour or it takes us out of the way. But how many of you all know that sometimes in our lives, the greatest blessings that we have received is when we have to take a detour? When things don't necessarily go as planned and you have to do something that is different, how many of you all know or have received blessings in your detours? And I just want to say hello there, Mama. I'm so glad that you're on here with me on tonight. I was intended to give you a call. I see Miracle. So glad to see Miracle on here with me on tonight. Of course, my honey is here. But Mama, I'm gonna give you a call a little bit later. It may not be today, but I'm gonna try to give you a call on tomorrow. But how many of you all, as you have traveled in this life, that you've had to make detours? And sometimes it's not necessarily a road trip that you've had to make a detour. Sometimes it's in life when you are planning for maybe your career, and all of a sudden the way or the path that you wanted to travel, the way that you wanted to travel, or the not necessarily the way that you wanted to travel, or the steps that you were trying to go through in order to reach your goal. Again, like I'm saying about your career, you may have to shift it a little bit. And I can tell you from personal experience when I had to shift. Once upon a time in my life, when I started out going to college immediately after high school, and I thought that I was ready to go and get it done, and I had to make a major shift. And that major shift lasted for about 10 years. And that major shift lasted for 10 years because, as people say, life was lifing. And I had gotten married. I had had another child. And so we had purchased a house, and all of those things was happening during that time where I had to take a detour and a shift. But I would not change it for the world because so many valuable lessons were learned during that time. There were things that happened during that time. So I can say that sometimes the most precious or priceless memories that we will have in our lives actually come from taking a detour. And if you believe that, put some hearts in the chat, or just say, yes, I've been there, or no, this has never happened to me. Maybe I'm just speaking to myself, and maybe I'm the only one who's had to make a detour. But I will tell you that when we learn to let go of the of control and allow God to detour us in life and shift us in life, when we're trying to fix everything ourselves, you all, listen, it doesn't work like that, because it's going to cost you something, okay? It's definitely going to cost you something if you think that you can fix the detours that God has in your life. And remember, I'm talking about finding peace when you can't control the outcome. Because again, there are so many different things that happen in our lives that we absolutely have no control over. And I just also want to ask you all, beyond trusting God with our words, how do we then learn to let go of everything and really begin to walk by faith? And I often say that, and I used to say it quite a bit about being a faith walker. Moving to Baytown was definitely a leap of faith, a big leap of faith. But I'm so very glad that we did this, because I can say this has been one of the greatest blessings, I believe, in our lives. And so, and had we sat by and played it safe and careful, I know that the things that God has blessed us to be able to accomplish and the people that we've been able to meet and the things that we've been able to do and all of those different things and the lives that I feel like that has been affected by us being here, that would not have happened. So we had to learn to um, let that control go and allow God to do what God is doing. And then when I talk about, peace, having a peace of mind and not a piece of a mind, but having peace in your mind is something that I think there is no price tag on it, because when you have a lot of things that's going on in your life and you have so many things that is bogging you down, your inner peace has been disturbed. You can't sleep at night, you can't eat, you can't function, you just cannot do the things, you can't enjoy life. So when your inner peace is disturbed, then it affects your whole being. And not only does it affect your whole being, but it affects the people around you. Just think about it. If you are the type of person who, you're in turmoil, you've been in constant turmoil, you're having problems at your job, you're having problems at your home, you're having, just problems everywhere. And you wear all of this stuff on your shoulders and you're walking around and nobody knows, what to say to you. Nobody knows how to approach you. They don't know who they're going to encounter when they see you. Are you going to be the happy person? Or are you going to be that person who's grumpy? Are you going to be that person who, when I see you, that I know that I'm going to meet that person who is ready for, um, to have a cheerful conversation? Or am I going to meet that person who I need to wait several hours before I can even approach you because you're not at that frame of mind right then? So when our inner peace is disturbed, we've got to learn how we need to reset ourselves and how to reset so we can get our inner peace back in check. And I've often talked to you all or share with you all about, deep breathing and taking five deep breaths and just really resetting yourself, and also starting your morning off with I call it commanding the morning. And sometimes, I may not have as much time as I want to at home, but I do that, at work when I can get to work and I can just kind of quiet myself. I typically start my day with a certain song that I listen to almost every single day at work. And then from there, I listen to soft music all day long. And that is just feeding my mind, it's feeding my spirit, and it's taking me and putting me in a place of peace. But I also have my Bible there. I also have my, the different, cards that I read, little cards of affirmation or encouragement cards and different things like that. And so, and with the work that I do, I've got to make sure that I'm good. And so, and in order for me to be able to serve the people, I've got to make sure that my peace is not disturbed. So I talk about, deep breathing, command in the morning. And then also there are boundaries that you have to set. And I'm still talking about finding peace when you can't control the outcome. There are certain things I talked earlier about our social media, and we have got to learn that we have to have balance, because we can spend, and guess what? I'm talking to me first. We can spend so much time on our devices. And I remember my husband used to tell me all the time, honey, you are just wrapped up in those devices. You just wrapped up in that device. And now I may be on my device, but I may be working. I may be actually doing some things, creating some things, but it still requires a device to be in my hand. But we've got to learn to limit our social media um, time and put a limit on that. Don't make, make sure that you spend some quality time, with your family, talking to your family and just interacting with them. I can remember before we had cell phones and we had, it was just our family. And I can remember one of the things that my grandchildren asked me. They said, "Mommy, what did you do before you had a cell phone?" Or what was, almost like, what was life without a cell phone? Miracle, you understand? Yes. They were just like, "Oh my gosh, you had to be so bored. And how did you do it? What?" And they wanted to know how old was I when I got my first cell phone. And so these kids who were born with cell phones, they were born during the time where it's always been a cell phone, it's always been, iPads, it's always been a laptop, it's always been a computer. Where for us, that was not the case. So our life was very exciting. We did lots of things. And one of those things was we communicated and we talked to each other. So, yes, there were great things that we did without our cell phones. And we have to make sure that, y'all, I'm sorry. Uh, I need something. I need some lip gloss. Uh, but anyway, we have to make sure that what we're doing is we are prioritizing our time and not making sure that we give some of our time, lots of our time, to our families. Okay. And so another thing is that when we're talking about finding peace and also making sure that when we are over, when we can't control the outcome, it says faith doesn't eliminate fear, it confronts it. And then, and you may say, well, how is that? What does the word of God say about faith? What does the word of God say about fear? I want you to take the time to look that up. But faith doesn't eliminate fear. It confronts it. How do we coexist with the unknown? And let me just tell you, sometimes when we are talking about the unknown and the things, especially in today's society right now, where we don't know what our market is going to do. We don't know what to expect from day to day because of so many changes that is happening. But one of the things I will tell you is that we may not know what to expect. We may not know um, the things that's going to come. But I often tell and share this with people that I know who are having some difficult difficulties with what's going on, is that we know who holds our future. We know that God is in control of this world, and everything that is happening, he already knew what was going to happen. So he knows that what we're going through, he knows that we are seeking relief, that we need some relief from all of these things that's going on. And we may suffer for a little while, you all, but we're not going to suffer long. So I want you all to have the reassurance in knowing that things are going to be okay. Things are actually going to be okay. Before cell phones, life was so great and adventurous. You're exactly right, Miracle. It was adventurous. We did things that required us to move and be, just kind of be out out with our families and out in the community and just having fun. So I thank you, Miracle, for that. Now there are some other people on here that I know that you all had some things going on before the cell phones. But I'm gonna wrap up, and like I said, I always know that my time always gets away from me. In as we're wrapping up, I want you to know, to stop holding on to so many things that you don't have control over. We often talk about at work, what's in our control and what's not in our control. What are the things that we can control? What are the things that we can we can do, and we can change the outcome, versus what are those things that we absolutely have no control over them whatsoever. And those things that we have no control over whatsoever, those are the things, yeah, we're going to pray about everything, and we're going to consult God, and we're going to talk about it and try to, see what needs to be done. But the things that you absolutely have no control over, stop holding on to those things. Let them go. Just let it go, because it's not going to do anything for you except for to drain you. It's only going to make you feel, less in control, because that's basically what it is. You cannot control certain things. And so there is no sense in trying. Just let it go. And the other thing is that, when we think about the peace that we're seeking, peace comes from God. It comes from His presence. It comes from allowing Him to dwell within us, to be with us, and to comfort us. One of the things that I often say, that as a social worker and counselor and mental health provider, all of those different things that I say that I am an encourager. I believe that with the same peace and the same comfort that God has given me, that is the same peace and the same comfort that I desire, or I aim to share with other people. Because just as I have been comforted, I want to comfort others. And you all, that is scripture. I told you the Bible has an answer for everything. That is actually scripture that I would read and say, God, I thank you, because even as a child, not necessarily knowing exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew what it I kind of knew what I wanted to do. But I had no idea until I became an adult that what I wanted to do to comfort others and provide comfort for other people was actually ordained by God. Isn't that amazing? So listen, everybody, I hope that you all have enjoyed this 30 quick minutes of grandstanding with Mother Teresa. And I really try to make sure that I am giving you all some things to make you just kind of stop and think. It may not be mind blowing. It may not be where you say, oh, I've never heard it. I've never heard that. Because most of the things that I am sharing with you, you've heard them all before. Sometimes we can hear something 20 different times, and sometimes it's that 21st time that we hear it, that something, a light bulb comes on, and you was like, oh, I got it. Now I understand. Okay. So again, I am not here to try to, teach you something that you've probably never heard before. I just kind of want to stir up some of the things that you may have already heard, but also give you maybe a twist on it, or give you share with you all some, maybe a new way of looking at things. Because if you're like me, I am a lifelong learner. I love to learn. I love to read. I love to, I used to say, do a lot of research. And the reason why I do that is because I am a learner. I am a lifelong learner. And I believe that we can always learn something new. It doesn't matter what age we are, we can always learn something new. So that is what I want to do, is on these episodes on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, um, to just share with you all some things that hopefully it would kind of stir up your memory of things that maybe that you have heard before, but just kind of put a different perspective on it. And if you have enjoyed it, If you have enjoyed this message, please share it. Share it with on your Facebook page or your whatever pages, your social media platforms that you may have. Share it with other people. And then not only do I want you to share it, but if you are not a subscriber to my YouTube page, because there are a lot of things over on YouTube that somebody is on here and I can't tell who it is. I keep seeing it pop up, but you've got to say something to me. I know that's Miracle, but I see somebody else on here and I can't see your faces popping up. You're giving me some stars and some likes, but I can't see, I can't tell me your name. Tell me who's here. Um, Again, subscribe, like, share, get over to YouTube. I've got a really nice video over there that my honey did for me. And it's if you're having a hard time going to sleep and you need to hear the rain, I've got a great video over there on YouTube. And for those that are watching me on YouTube right now, if you haven't listened to my rainy days or rainy nights, you all need to listen to it. You need to listen to it. Oh, that's you, Net. Okay, I can't tell. That's my daughter. That's my daughter, Net, who talked about me and her daddy about the sandwich bags and everything. Yeah, Net, we saw it and we done laughed about it and had a conversation about it. But get over to YouTube, listen to that rainy days, listen to it at night when you're trying to go to sleep. I guarantee you it will put you to sleep. I've got some other videos on there that are just as relaxing because guess what? I'm all about peace. I'm all about, just kind of that tranquil lifestyle. So I've got some things over there for you. Get over there, check them out, and then share them. And if you like the content, please, 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 please turn on the notification bell. That way, whenever something new comes on, you will be one of the first to know that it's there. And then you can watch it and leave me a comment. Okay. I still have some other things that we will be um, sharing with you all. I mentioned something about a encouragement cards. We are creating some encouragement cards that go along with our different materials that we have out. So there's going to be lots of new things coming your way, and I don't want you all to miss any of them. So stay tuned. Make sure that you are tuned in to Grandstanding every week. If you miss a week, go back and listen to the replay because I'm pretty sure there may be something that you need that's on Grandstanding. So, all right, everybody, we're going to end it here on tonight. And as my sister Cynthia would say, good night, Grandstanders, and we will see you all on the next time. All right, let's turn this music up and we're going to grandstand. We're going to get out of here. Thank you all so very much for joining me on tonight. All right, Miracle. All right, Mama, Honey, Nets, and everyone else that's going to come along and listen to the replay. Oh, everybody, I've got some new music coming up. TJ sent me a sample of some new music. Oh, you all, I can't wait to share it with you all. And again, if you need some theme music, if you need some jingles. If you need anything as it relates to music, TJ Culpepper, that's your guy. He's reasonable and he does great work. All right, everybody, you all enjoy your week. We will see you on the next time. Bye bye, everybody.